Hello students, this is the fourth video of the lesson History of Novel. In the previous videos, we have seen the various novels that were published right from the 17th century up till now. We've also seen the various authors outside India and in India and how they have progressed over the centuries. We have seen what are the various elements of a novel, and in this video we shall look at the types of novel. As you can see on the screen, there are 11 types of novel. Let us look at each of them in detail. The first one is realistic novel. Now, what is a realistic novel? A realistic novel is a novel which portrays everyday life. So, whatever happens in the real life, all those things will be seen in those kind of novel. The characters are far from idealized. Like you don't have some ideal characters over there. Those characters also are some characters which you can relate with. They include poor factory workers, corrupt politicians, and prostitutes, and so many. So, all these situations are there actually in the society around us. Also, the subjects of realistic novels were drawn from the slums of the cities and factories. Like this is the explanation of the novels that were written in the 18th century when industrial revolution had just begun and when the people were facing so many various types of changes in the society. So all those things, all those changes were shown in the novels that were written during that time. So those novels are also known as the realistic novels. Its characters are complex and mixed motives. Okay, and we can all relate to the characters, the situations, and the very setting and plot that is seen in these types of novels. The next is picaresque novel. Now, what is a picaresque novel? Picaresque novel, the word picaresque comes from the Spanish word picaro, which means rogue. Now, what is rogue? Rogue is a person who is dishonest or unprincipled. Okay, so such kind of character will be seen in this novel. A picaresque novel narrates the adventures of the protagonist. Now, who is the protagonist? The main character. Okay, who is very much unconventional. He has a very strange behavior and he has a very disreputable personality. Okay, so that kind of person is seen, or the character is seen in this novel. Now, what are the various qualities of these novels? First, usually this novel is written in first person narrative. Like the person is narrating by himself what are the various things that take place with him. Then you have low character person. There is no plot. There are no circumstances. Then story told with realism. There's satire. Okay, like you want to say something, you want to highlight a particular point. Okay, and you have sympathy for the hero. Okay, so this is what a picaresque novel is all about. Then we have the historical fiction or the historical novel. As the name suggests, the novel is set in a period earlier than that of the writing. So something that has happened in the past. So a fictional story set in the recognizable period of history, as well as telling the stories of ordinary people's lives. Historical fiction involves political or social events of the time. Okay, so it's not actually a history textbook, but yes, the events are specific from a specific period of history. Okay, then epistolary novel. I have already mentioned this word earlier. Epistolary means the word derives from the Latin word epistola. Epistola means letters. Okay, so in this type of novel, narrative is told in letters. Okay, you will have chapters in form of letters by one or more of the characters. Now, this novel allows author to present feelings and reactions of characters, and it gives you multiple viewpoints. And also, you have psychological realism, like the actual feelings and emotions of the person will also be seen in this type of novels. Then there is Gothic novel. Also, this term was used earlier. Gothic novels are novels that include terror, mystery, horror, thriller, supernatural doom, death, decay, haunted buildings. All these kind of novels are Gothic novels. Okay, they have the element of magic, mystery, and horror. Okay, you'll have exotic settings, and you'll have Oriental setting as well. The dungeons and all of those kind of things will be seen in this kind of novel. Okay, then there is autobiographical novel. Autobiographical novel means the novel which is based on the life of the author. So the events, the characters in the novel, all will be those which the author or the writer has actually had experience in his real life. So that is called as a autobiographical novel. It is a piece of writing which relates events in the life of the person who has written it. So we know that suppose I have written an autobiographical novel, then that novel will tell you what are the various incidences, what are the various people that I have met in my life. Okay, by its nature it only includes the author as the protagonist, and the main character is the author. Okay, then usually it has plots that concern the events in the author's life, and it is written mostly from the first person or singular perspective. Okay, then there is allegorical novel. Now, an allegory is a story that bears more than one level of meaning. Like the name of the novel is different, while the meaning that the novel conveys is different. Like the best example would be Animal Farm. Now, the name of the novel is Animal Farm. Now, listening to the name, you might think that okay, this novel might be having some animal characters and their behavior and all of those things. Yes, that is included in the novel, but the message that the novel gives is about the political setting during that period. Okay, so that is the best example of allegorical novel. Okay, so I've given you some of the examples here. It's a work in which characters, events, objects, ideas have secondary or symbolic meaning. Like if you have a character, like in the Animal Farm, you have this character of a pig, or you have a character, but that is symbolizing some character in real life, some person in real life. Okay, then entertaining story which even children can enjoy, and it has there's a deeper meaning to every fact that is mentioned in this novel. Then you have utopian and dystopian novel. Now, what is utopia? Utopia is an ideal society, a society in which you wish to live, the ideal republic towards which we should all strive. Okay, it will tell you what is wrong in the society, what needs to be changed, or what should be improved. So that kind of novel will be utopia. And dystopia is a thought experiment that isolates and exaggerates certain social trends in order to highlight their most negative qualities. So, like in utopia, you'll have some positive things in the novel, whereas in dystopia, all the negative qualities will be highlighted. So, in this way, you have a novel which criticizes the way the society is during that particular period. Okay, so it's a common little theme, and it is usually used in science fiction or speculative fictions. Okay. Then psychological novel. Psychological novel is a work of fiction that treats the internal life of the main character or even other characters. So whatever is going on in the minds of the characters will be seen focused on in this kind of novels. So the mental and emotional lives of the characters and explores the various levels of mental activity. Okay. Then the next one is stream of consciousness. Yes, this term also we have heard before. Okay, the term stream of consciousness tells you a technique of narration. It is a way of narrating certain events. Now, earlier, before 20th century, an author would simply tell the reader what was the character thinking. While in stream of consciousness technique, what happens? The author actually writes though inside, as though he's inside the mind of the characters. Okay, so that was the difference. It is kind of interior monologue. Okay, so you will find this in the novel To the Lighthouse and Ulysses, or the second, and The Sound and the Fury. So these all the novels are stream of consciousness. And the last one, Bildungsroman. Now it is a German word, Bildungsroman. It indicates growth. Okay, so the growth of the protagonist means the main character from youth to childhood. in which his character change is seen to be very much important. It relates the growing up or coming of age of a sensitive person who goes in search of answer to life's questions with the expectation that these will result from gaining experience of the world. And the genre also evolves from folklore tales of a dunce or youngest son going out in the world to seek his fortune. So, in this kind of novel, you will see that this particular character has set on a journey, and while he takes his journey of life, what are the various experiences that he gains? All those things are narrated here. Okay. So Bildungsroman, it's a word Bildung, which has a meaning means shaping of formation. Okay. And Roman means novel. So a novel which shows the formation of the character or the shaping of the main character. Okay. Then what are the characteristics? You learn lessons from these kind of novel. There is moral development, there's psychological development, and as you read you will see that how the character as a child matures to become a person or a man. What are the various examples? To Kill a Mockingbird, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, Chronicles of Narnia, all these are Bildungsroman novels. Okay. So, my dear students, in the first of 20th century, you will see that pulp magazines became very much popular. Okay, and pulp fiction era provided building ground for the detective novels and science fiction. Also, apart from all these types of novels that we have seen, we see that science fiction also as a genre became very much famous. Okay, and well known throughout the centuries. So, with that, we shall end the lesson history of novel. I'm sure you've understood. However, please read through the entire chapter after you finish seeing all these videos. Till then, thank you and have a nice day.